My name is Marianne Tidwell, and this is my major assignment 3, the TechSet PowerPoint. My essential question is, how can multicultural literature featuring a strong female protagonist help empower first grade girls with diverse backgrounds with strength, perseverance, and determination in overcoming challenges? I selected 3 texts. The 3 texts that I selected were Frog Girl by Paul Owen Lewis, Freedom School Yes by Amy Littlessugar, and My Name is Yoon by Helen Rickervidis. I selected these 3 texts because they showcase strong female protagonists who overcame obstacles through the use of perseverance and determination. Each story also showcased an elementary school-age child that I thought students would be able to identify with. It was my hope that young girls in the classroom who have diverse backgrounds of their own could not only identify with those girls of the story, but also find empowerment in them as well. I wanted to use these texts and their accompanying activities to explore the ways to overcome fear and challenges. Each text is also appropriate for grades 1st through 3rd. I also wanted a selection of texts that would explore fiction as well as historical fiction and nonfiction. Frog Girl is a traditional tale from the Native American tribes of the Northwest Coast. Freedom School Yes is actually based on the 1964 Mississippi Freedom Summer School project. And My Name is Yoon is a fictional story revolving around a young Korean girl and her family living in America. Each story challenges students to think about the difficulties of each female, how they are viewed by others, and how their culture is viewed by society. The first story I selected is Frog Girl by Paul Owen Lewis. And this is a traditional tale, and in this story, a chief's daughter discovers a unique village under the river led by this person called Grandmother. And then in this village, and in this underground secret village, frogs keep disappearing, so Grandmother sends the girl of the story on a mission to save the frogs, and the girl does. And then a volcano erupts and destroys the village, and the girl is able to save everyone. So the brave actions of this girl educate readers on the strong empowerment role of Native American females. In this tale, we see the strength of a young girl who overcomes challenges in the face of fear. She's determined to help Grandmother and save the frogs. In the end, she's honored for her bravery. Freedom School Yes, again, is based upon the real Mississippi Freedom School. And we see a young girl named Jolie who is very afraid, and she's just that's her personality. But then a white woman teacher comes to live with her family because she's going to teach at the Freedom School. But then Jolie experiences a lot of discrimination and actually vandalism, and the school and the church that the school was going to be in actually gets burned to the ground. However, the teacher, whose name is Annie, holds classes under a hickory tree, and it's during this time that Jolie really learns the power of an education. Again, the author of this story, Amy Littlessugar, based the story on interviews she did with teachers from the Mississippi Freedom School in the 1960s, and she interviewed them. And this story shows students to be brave and strong in the face of many challenges, like Jolie. Students are exposed to the racism and discrimination of African Americans during the Civil Rights era, and additionally, students will see the response of perseverance and determination in the face of fear and challenge. The third story I have is My Name is Yoon. And in this, we see a young girl named Yoon who is from a Korean family who immigrated to the United States. And she loves the way that her name is written in Korean. But she has to go to American school, and her father tells her that she must write it in English. This story has an interesting spotlight on Asian culture in American society. Yoon does not like her Korean name in English and feels foreign alone at school. However, eventually she makes a friend and becomes more comfortable with her new teacher in school. At home, her father tells her to be proud of who she is, and Yoon learns that through strength, she can overcome her fears. Again, we see the themes of strength and bravery, and the power to adapt and overcome challenges. Next I have my activities. For Frog Girl, I'm going to focus on bravery. Before reading, I will do a picture walk of the story and allow students to make predictions about the plot. Then I will ask students about bravery, making sure they understand what it means. Students will complete a quick pre-writing activity about a time that they felt brave. Students will share their writing with the class. I will tell students that we'll be reading a book about a Native American girl who had to be brave. As I read the story, I will ask students, how do you think the girl feels when she talks to grandmother? How do you think that feeling changes when grandmother asks her to save the frogs? And at the end of the story, how do you think she feels? After reading, I will ask students how the girl was brave in the story. And we'll have a discussion again about bravery. Students will complete a Venn diagram comparing the bravery of the girl and the bravery of themselves that they wrote in their pre-writing activity. Students will share them, and this will be done to activate prior knowledge and help students connect with themes. In Freedom School, yes, we will review the concepts of bravery and what it means to be brave. Then students will take a brief picture walk and make predictions. I will tell students that we will be reading another book about bravery. In this story, the little girl is very scared. As I read, I'm going to have them write down on a little sticky note when they notice that she's scared and what she does to overcome her fears. After reading, students will think, pair, share with their little sticky notes. And the class will make a large chart of ways to overcome fear and challenges. Some of the questions I will ask during reading and after reading are, how does Jolie feel about her teacher in the beginning of the story? How do her feelings change by the end of the story? How does Jolie's feelings change about school and learning? And why do you think they change? How does Jolie show that she is now brave? In My Name is Yoon, we will review prior learning about bravery and overcoming fear to connect prior learning. Then we will discuss immigration and if students know anyone who has immigrated to this country. During reading, I will ask students questions. How do you think Yoon feels about school in the beginning of the story? How do you know this? Why do you think this? Why does she not like her name in English? How does she feel about school? How do her feelings change at the end of the story and why? For a post-reading activity, students they will pretend that they are immigrants in another country where they are not familiar with the language, and they will write about what fears they might have and challenges they might face and how they will overcome them, and they can share those with the class. Connecting to different subjects and disciplines, these books can be easily tied to other disciplines. Since Freedom School Yes is loosely based off real events of the 1960s, students could research the Civil Rights era. Additionally, students could pick an important civil rights activist to research and write about how they were brave in overcoming challenges. For My Name is Yoon, students could also research the topics of immigration as well. For geography, students can use a map to locate the settings of these stories, including the Pacific Northwest, Mississippi, Korea, and also research their local cultures. For writing, since students will be writing for all three activities, they could extend their writing by combining their information into their own stories. Students could create a story about being brave and share this with another student, as sort of like a little advice book for other students. My reflections: in researching these multicultural texts, I reaffirm my belief in the importance of including multicultural literature in the classroom. Not only does it allow students to develop tolerance and understanding, but also gives them exposure to new ideas and ways of life. I felt it important to include different cultures so that students could see the similarities and differences among cultures, including the universal values apparent in all. I enjoyed creating cross-curricular activities for students to explore each culture more in depth. However, I found it challenging to find activities for math and science. In the future, I could see myself using these texts and activities to build my students' critical thinking skills. I could also use it in a character education unit about self-esteem and self-worth. Thank you.